Hi, welcome to Keeping It Real. I'm Gretchen Shepherd, and this is episode what? I have to look on my log. 42. 42 nights in a row of doing this. 2 nights I did have to record ahead of time. Hi, Gloria. But 42 nights. I still had things ready. In fact, after we're done tonight, I'm going to record for a couple more for over New Year's because I'm going to go see my grandkids and I'll be on a train on one of them. So kind of hard to do live from the train. Probably could, but I think I'll just sit and relax. How are you doing tonight, Gloria? I saw you on Angie's her dance party. She needed a dance party. It's kind of been that kind of a day. Yes, I'm feeling the residual effects of yesterday's physical therapy. So if you see me sitting up a little bit and then crouching down, it's because I'm stretching my back. Oh gosh. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a really interesting transformation. I have spent so many years behind the camera, and if you look back in all of the things, there's not that many pictures ever of me, unless I do a timed exposure with the whole family, because I'm always the one taking all the pictures, and I'm very rarely in front of the camera. And but this, I just got visited by the grand dog. Stella came in, babysitting our daughter's old English Staffordshire, and Stella has a tendency to, she doesn't hear real well, and I don't think she sees real well, so she just is right at your heels all the time. It's very cute. Gloria, it would be wonderful. Yes, Reiki would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Gloria, you're such an amazing giving person. I'm really looking forward to the time where we can meet in person. Oh, let me move my microphone up here. So tonight, I have just the books that have been coming off the shelf to me for this time have been books that are really around around animals and around the cold and the weather. Could be the fact that we're supposed to be getting a fair amount of snow starting in a couple 3 hours, and then it's supposed to snow throughout the night and most of tomorrow too. So I don't know. I love the winter and I love the winter weather. I would be much happier if I was out in it and not afraid of slipping and falling. But if I was out playing in it or skiing or doing something like that, but it's just not in the plans right now. So I'm sticking with this plan. So tonight I thought I would read a book called Northern Lullaby, but I think what inspired me to grab it, not only because it's a beautiful book and the color palette, but I was sitting here at my desk here and looked across and I saw a piece on my wall that I got from AB Creatives. Gloria, you might know who she is. She's in London, and she was doing a piece at one time, and I won I think it was a naming contest. I named the piece that she did, and so at least I'm warm. Yes, Bob has had the fireplace going for days. I mean, we've had our fire going in our wood stove upstairs. It's keeping the house pretty warm, and literally I don't think he's let it die out for 4 days probably, which is quite a long time. But that's okay. It's good. It's very cold outside, so that the snow is pretty dry, which is unusual for over here. So yeah, AB Creatives, and I have a difficult time. Her name is Agnieszka Agnieszka Bartholomew. Anyway, I cannot pronounce it at all. It's no wonder she's AB Creatives. But she's in London. And the piece that I named it Northern Lights. Oh, cool. And have a sip of my wine. So, Gloria, what is your specialty in art? Besides the healing arts, which is amazing. I know you do that. Do you pour? Do you paint? Do you watercolor? Curious Minds wants to know here, because I'm really curious about that. So anyway, I was watching AB Creatives one day, and she was doing this thing where she had a name the piece contest, and I called this piece Northern Lights, and I won, and I got the piece. And let me see if I have it right here for you to see. This one. Come on. Nope. Here it is. There we go. So there it is. So this is a piece that she had poured, and then she did a little bit of embellishments, and then she painted on a bear to go with it, which is like, me, perfect for me. And it's resined, and it's just beautifully done. She has this cool certificate of authenticity. March, was it, of 2021? Yeah. Agualesalala. I don't know how to say her name at all. I really wish I'll have to send her a message. But it's such a beautiful piece, and if you've ever seen the Northern Lights, they're like this. I've seen them from here in Seattle. When we lived out in the country, there was occasionally, it's very difficult to see if you're in Seattle, but sometimes if you're on the outskirts, or like where we live, there's not a lot of light pollution. And so occasionally we can see them. I saw them when I was in Alaska, and it was quite stunning. They weren't quite as brilliant as this, but it's always been, to be able to see the Northern Lights, how they go, and the whole thing that they do would be just really, really, really spectacular. So that was part of sitting here, and it sits across from my desk up there. And I thought, I think that it's just a good time we have this winter, with so much going on with the climate and everything. Let's just pay tribute to some of this ice and wonderful winterness that we have. So the story that I chose tonight is called Northern Lullaby. And I'll pull the book up here so you can see it. Hi, Angie. Yes. So Northern Lullaby is by Nancy White Crlstrom, who I Am Christmas by her the other day, right on Christmas Eve, or when it was. And oh no, your page got hacked. Oh, that's terrible. Can you restart your page with a new name? Do something like that? Anyway, Nancy White Crlstrom. If you were here that night, you might have remembered me telling you the story that she was the original owner of the Secret Garden bookstore in Seattle that was voted the best children's bookshop in the entire Northwest. And that included Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, and it was voted that way many years running. And when you consider that Powell's bookstore in Portland is the largest bookstore west of the Mississippi, yeah, Powell's is a haven. I love it. They actually have painted. They have these cool wood floors, but they have color painted trails on the floor, so you know which color to follow to which department you want to go to. It's great, and there's floors of it. Oh, I love it. But anyway, Nancy had Secret Garden Bookshop, and I met her when she first owned it and hadn't written, and she wrote Jessie Bear. Her first book was, I think, Jessie Bear. Jessie Bear, what will you wear? What will you wear in the morning? I wear my pants that dance, my pants that dance in the morning. It's this cute little book, and I had it for my kids. And her son is named Jesse, and yeah, you can imagine how Jesse felt as he grew up having that book about him. But she sold the store, and they moved to Alaska outside of Fairbanks. And she says about that, "It opened up a whole new world to me," says author Nancy White Crlstrom, of her family's move from the urban Seattle to the countryside near Fairbanks, Alaska. "I felt a new closeness to nature, the river we lived by, the mountains in the distance, the trees all around, and the amazing aurora borealis that swirled overhead. The nature around us had become like family, and so came the inspiration for Northern Lullaby." She still lives in Fairbanks with her husband and their two sons, Jesse and Joshua. And now the illustrators of this, Leo and Diane Dillon, are very famous, noted illustrators of books reflecting many different cultures. For Northern Lullaby, they focused on the vastness of Alaska rather than portray any specific group. And they aimed at capturing the spirit of all native peoples from that land. The Dillons have won many awards for their illustrations, including the Caldecott Medal for 1976 and 1977, twice, and more recently the Coretta Scott King Award. That's just, and they live in Brooklyn, New York, and they have a son, Lee, who is also an artist. So this book that I'm going to read tonight is called Northern Lullaby, and I'll switch to a different scene so you can see more of it, but check out the color palette that they've used. Each page has a distinct color palette that really matches the character and the part of Earth that they're talking about, and it's just a really beautiful, fascinating book. You know, the Northern Lights are still there, Gloria. There'll be a chance. Just not the jewelry. Oh. Yeah, it's there. The atmosphere has to be just right. I mean, it's seen frequently when you're in Alaska, and then like if you were to go to Norway or some of those places. Yeah, the cover illustration is beautiful. And I'll pull. You can see that. Let me switch to my other scene here that can see the whole book a little better. Get that out of your way. So here you can see the little log cabin down here, and the natives. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah. So the details there. It's just pretty spectacular. Okay. It's in the way. So, take the dust cover off because it always makes noise for me. I love even the fact that the cover is embossed here with the mucklucks. And we'll start so you can see it there. That's pretty good. So look at these color palettes. And look at these designs. They're just amazing. Northern Lullaby by Nancy White Crlstrom, illustrated by Leo and Diane Dillon. It was written in 1992, came published. Here we go. Good night, Papa Star. Good night, Mama Moon. Bending your silver arms down through the darkness. Look at the faces on these. They reach for the little hut. I'll show you the hut. Good night, Grandpa Mountain, in shimmering robe. Straighten your nightcap of new-fallen snow. Good night, Grandma River, frozen below with lullaby ripples of pale, gleaming light. Good night, Great Moose Uncle and Uncle Wolf Uncle Gray. Snowshoe hair play as you move beyond shadows. Here's the house again. I love how the house is in every picture. Good night, Auntie Willow. Good night, Auntie Birch, standing in long flannel gowns in the silence. Good night, Cousins Beavers, Deer, Mouse, and Red Fox, nodding in snug homes, protected from ice. There's the house again. Good night, Sister Owl. Quiet your cry. Fold the night sky close under dark feathers. I love this owl. This has to be one of my favorites. Good night, Brother Bear, already asleep, peaceful and warmed by your deep song of winter. Shine down, Mama Moon. Shine down, Papa Star. Wrap me in your soft quilt of stillness tonight. And when I turn over between sleep and dreams, northern lights dance your good night over me. Good night. Good night. Isn't that just stunning? Oh my gosh. I love the wolf and the moose costumes. I know. Aren't they great? You know, if you've the Native American tribal art up here, at least on the whole coast, you can, it's so distinctive, and you can tell by the color of the art and by the shape of the eyes that they draw and whatnot, what tribe someone is from, that where the art came from. It's really fascinating to study that and to learn about it. But what I like about this is that they said that they didn't focus on one, they blended them to make it so wonderful. But yeah, the moose and the wolf, and then there's the snowshoe hare over here. And then the house is in every picture. And that owl. Oh. Yeah, Angie, you need to rest. Mike does too. I think we all need to rest a bit. Take some. It's interesting. Everybody's talking about ramping things up for the new year and da 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 da. And I'm like, I'm not that dissatisfied with what I did in 2021 that I feel like I need to ramp everything all up for 2022. Yeah, there may be some things I do differently, but try to be live pretty grateful for each day we can. Look at those beautiful, I know the faces. Cousins beaver, deer, mouse, and red fox. And the owl. Look at that owl. So you can see the color palettes. That's why it made me think, yeah, Native American and Eskimo. So beautiful. It made me think so much of some of the fluid art and the different kind of things. But having been in Alaska, even when I was there in July, and to see the colors that happen, because I went out to take moonrise pictures I was taking sunset pictures and then turning around, just literally turning around as the moon was rising. And the sunset was like at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then the moon rose behind me. And it was a blue moon, and it was a super moon when I was up there. So it was pretty amazing. But the colors, and because the sunset's so late in the summer and rises so early, I mean, it was such a thing. The colors there at that balance of times were just something else. Yeah, I love the owl. Oh, you the snowshoe hare. I'll show you the snowshoe hare. The snowshoe hare is back here. Shh. As you move, Good night, great moose uncle and wolf Uncle Gray. Snowshoe hare play as you move beyond shadows. Yeah, they're back there playing in the shadows. Yeah, exactly. Painting, aromatherapy. In fact, that's what I needed to do. I have a girlfriend of mine up here, Julie, does Gray Moon Goddess is her name. She's on Twitch and she does things, and she does oils and balms and stuff, and she's a Reiki master also. And I haven't seen her for a while because she lives a little bit, but I have some hematite spray that I love, and I oftentimes spray it around before I go live just because it helps to cleanse. Yeah, that's true. It does have a bit of an Egyptian. On a roll in 20. we do have a fair amount of energy, boy, I tell you. This is all these animals, all of these. So don't be surprised if the themes that I have for the next few nights kind of evolve around or revolve around some of these. I have some other stories that are based in this kind of area, and but the colors and the pictures are, I'm going with some kind of winter themes. So I will be back on live tomorrow night, same time, same place. And then on New Year's Eve and the 1st and the 2nd, I will be with my grandkids. And so I'm pre-recording them, and I'll put them on as premieres. Oh, yeah. through Alaska and COVID canceled that. Well, it will be a chance to come back and do it again. My sister-in-law was had just she lives on the north side of Kodiak Island, and she's a total Alaska mountain woman. Kind of, you get to her place by seaplane or an 8-hour boat ride only, and she has no communication other than satellite phone occasionally, unless she comes into Kodiak. And then and she actually came into Kodiak in the winter because she's gotten older, and staying out there is kind of rough where she is. She has 11 acres and lives off the land, but she oftentimes she'll cook there's a bear camp, and there's a bear camp down the ways that has 2 seasons, basically a season for hunters and a season for photographers. And so she goes and cooks there. Well, it's pretty hard work because you have to get up really early and this type of thing. So she got contacted by the cruise ships that they were going to, one of the excursions for the cruise ship people coming into Kodiak was to fly them across to the Alaska mountain woman, Jeannie's place, and she would cook them a meal there and show them around and whatnot. And that was an excursion, and it was going to be far more lucrative than cooking for the bear camp and a lot less money. And then COVID hit and that got canceled. So, but yeah, so she's up there. We'll get back there. We'll get to it's a beautiful land. I would go tomorrow. If somebody said, do you want to go to Alaska? And I go, yeah, yep. Gets distracted by the next bright and shiny object. Yes. I know that one. Yes. Squirrel. Oh, yeah. A live date. Yeah, because you're going to be quarantined at home. Yeah. On the Inside Alaskan cruise. There is, if you come, there's regular cruise ships, but if you come to Washington, there is a boat that leaves out of Bellingham, and it's called the Alaska Marine Highway, and it's a ferry, or no, it's a several day, and you can get a cabin on it, or you can choose to camp on deck. There's some things on YouTube some people have done it. Life Out of Bounds, I think, is the group that had done it. They have, and I know people who have taken the Alaska ferry. It's quite well known here in Washington, and it's beautiful. It goes up the Inside Passage, and I've been up to the northern end of Vancouver Island on a boat because we used to go to vacations up there as a kid, and my dad had a boat, and we would go up way up in there. And yeah, I have plans for some other things to do, but oh well. Here, I'm squirreling again. Squirrel. Never mind. Yeah, it'll be. I don't know about cruise ships right now. Every cruise ship right now, this horror stories on them. It's not working. It's not working at all for people. It's an industry that they want to get going and people want to get out, but it's really not a wise choice, I don't think. Anyway, that's my opinion. But so I am there. Yes. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this one. I really like the colors. I thought that it was so pretty, and I thought it really went well with AB Creative's piece that, as I said, that I got when I won the naming contest of her of her piece here, called Northern Lights, and then she put the bear in it. I think she just does some really, she's one of the earliest people that I started watching. And she does a lot of interesting embellishments and added things, and she just tries things. It's really fun to watch her channel because she oftentimes tries stuff without even testing it. I haven't done this, and we'll see what it happens. And if it doesn't work, she tries again. And yeah. Aw, thank you, you two. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed this one. It's a really, really beautiful book. Really beautiful book. It's yeah, it's one of those ones again that when I read to the grandkids that they just can get so absorbed in, because it's not so many words, but the pictures have so much for them to explore. She did. I'd have to go back and look at which episode it was. So she did it in March of 2021, I think it was. And acrylics, epoxy, and resin. Yeah. So I'd have to go back and look at what episode it is that she has on her to see how she did, which one it was. But I was pleased. Yay. Yep. Thank you. My lower back is already starting to ease up a bit. I can feel it. Thank you, Gloria. All right, ladies. I'm tuckered. And you, Angie, need to get some rest. Because Mike's going to be wiped. And yeah, men are such good patients, you know. Whoa. Sorry. That was just another one of my opinions. Oh dear. Anyway, you guys have a great evening. Gloria, thank you so much for being here. Angie, thank you for being here. And if you're seeing this on the replay, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed this. And there's more stories out there that are back there on the channel. You can go back and see some more. All right. I will see you, ladies. And for now, we'll sign out with keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around us, and it's in your mirror.